People often ask if these teachings truly work in the world of facts, or if they are merely beautiful ideas meant to comfort the mind. What you are about to hear is not philosophy, not theory, and not imagination alone, but a real experience lived by an ordinary person who applied these principles and watched life rearrange itself accordingly. This individual discovered the law of assumption during a period when money felt distant, uncertain, and seemingly unavailable. There was no visible pathway, no promise of income, no logical explanation for abundance. And yet, instead of focusing on what was missing, they chose to focus on what Neville taught so clearly: the feeling of the wish fulfilled. They did not beg the world for money. They did not affirm endlessly in desperation. They did not try to force events. Instead, they assumed, calmly, quietly, and persistently, that the money already existed in their life. Each day, they would relax the body and enter a simple imaginal act. They felt the peace that comes when a financial concern no longer exists. They felt the relief of security, the ease of knowing, the naturalness of already having what once felt distant. They did not imagine receiving the money. They imagined having already received it. This is a subtle but powerful difference. They allowed themselves to experience the inner state of fulfillment, not excitement or anxiety, but certainty, a quiet knowing, as though the matter was already settled and there was nothing left to figure out. And then they let it go. No obsession, no checking, no wondering how. They simply returned, again and again, to the feeling that it was already done. Weeks later, without warning, without discussion, and without any prior indication, something remarkable occurred. A relative, an aunt, opened a bank account in this person's name and deposited $20,000 as a gift. Not a loan, not repayment, not requested, simply given. There was no planning on the imaginer's part, no asking, no convincing. Life itself moved to fulfill the assumption that had already been accepted inwardly. This is how the law works. The outer world does not respond to what you want. It responds to what you are assuming to be true. When the inner state changes, the outer world has no choice but to follow. Notice something important here. The person did not imagine the aunt. They did not imagine a bank. They did not imagine the method. They imagined the state of having, and the world selected the means. This is why Neville said, "Your assumption, though false to the world, if persisted in, will harden into fact." The world rearranges itself not according to effort, but according to identity. Not according to struggle, but according to acceptance. If you are waiting for proof before you assume, you have reversed the order. Assumption comes first. Evidence follows. This story is not unique because it involves money. It is unique because it demonstrates a universal law operating exactly as described. When you live from the end, when you feel from fulfillment, when you accept inwardly that it is already so, reality must echo that assumption. So ask yourself now, not what you want, but who you would be if it were already yours. How would you breathe? How would you think? How would you move through the day? That state is the secret. Remain there. Return to it gently, and allow life to surprise you in its own way. Because imagination is not pretending. It is creation in its earliest form.